Maybe it's Satan Lucifer I blocked. I guess it was Satan Lucifer. The Too Smart to Get Laid video.
Let's make a video about something. What do you want to make a video about? Any ideas?
People who hate this noise.
That doesn't seem like a very thorough topic.
I meant Satan Lucifer. We could talk about how INFJ women can actualize themselves. Actually, how a beef injection from an ENTP can actualize basically any woman, and some men probably too, but it's not.
Well, let's talk about what's the real dual of the ENTP. The real dual, okay? There are a lot of misperceptions out there.
What is the real dual?
Well, let's look. Hi, friends. Host Eric here, talking with Finnish people. And what we're going to talk about today is the one true real duel of the Poop Gathering Festival. Namely, we're going to be talking about the fact that according to Eric's correct new model, duels are a little different than we thought. Okay, they're a little different now. Everything's changed. So these are your duels. Okay, you'll notice the ENTP's actual duel is the INFJ, and the INTP's actual duel is, and I'm sorry for this, INTPs, you guys are stuck with ENFJs. So, sorry about that, but you guys must like them because they're your actual true duel. Now, let's say you're an INFP. Well, your actual duel is not ESTJ, it's ENTJ. And you'll see that ESFP gets ISTJ, ISFP gets ESTJ, ESFJ, my ex-wife, gets ISTP, like Basement Overlord. They'd be perfect together, although she's much too old for him. ISFJ gets ESTP. Now, that's somebody that ISFJ can more fully contain because they both start with a physical understanding of things. ESTP with physical action, ISFJ with physical epistemology. So they work in coordination in that regard, and they make a better constraining pair, actually, than ENTP and ISFJ. INFJ is a better choice for ENTP because there is not such a sense. I mean, I think this relationship encourages ENTP to continue to infantilize himself, whereas this relationship encourages ENTP to grow up. And that's my assessment of the new duels. So if you are still thinking you got the old duel, the wrong duel, the duel that's not correct, well, here's your new duel, okay? If you're married to your duel right now, divorce them, you got the wrong one. You're using the old system, okay? So if you didn't see that because I wasn't sharing screen, then that would make sense. And I will show it real quick for your reference. The new duels shown right here for the people in the room as well as those at home. Here are your duels. And you can see why we're duels, because these two types are the only two types. You can't see it?
No, we can see it now. Sorry.
Nice casual.
Okay, so this is these are the new duels. And you can see the reason why they're duels is because every type has one outlier. They got 3 P's or 3 M's, right? So if you got your M's and P's in the same place, that's your duel.
Earlier you said that the ENTP's dual is the ISFJ because they both have the same epistemology thing, SI.
Yeah, that's the socionics understanding of duels. I agree with that. That is what the socionics understanding duals is. I'm saying, according to my new model, which is as of right now and maybe earlier today, that the correct brand new, exciting duals are the ones listed here.
No.
Yes, I am saying that.
Yes, I know you're saying that and you're correct because it's your model. But that would be wrong um, if you go by the definition we know of dual, which means like your other half, and you see ENTP, INFJ, which actually in socionics is the mirage. You only get the impression that they are your dual, but they're not.
Right, but you see, I've already answered that with this sentence here. You folks who disagree with me about this are wrong as calling a bagel dog Yorkshire pudding. Yes, it's meat wrapped up in pastry. That doesn't make it Yorkshire pudding, casual INTP, okay?
But you're just gonna ruin it, man. You have a good thing going on here.
Or maybe you're an expert like casual INTP. Perhaps
I'm
you
not.
find in socionics a better union function taxonomy than found in MBTI and have researched accordingly. Well, this model is different from MBTI and socionics. Like both, it reworks Jung's basic concept to make it more right. Obviously, it also borrows a good deal from H and corrects where they're basically it fixes all the wrong stuff. Okay.
I think if it doesn't align itself with socionics intertype relations, it's automatically wrong. Because intertype relations in socionics are actually they come from observation.
You don't get it. Doesn't matter how well you observe if you don't get the fact that you're observing both audio and visual. If you're deaf, for example, then your interpretation of the visual and audio spectrum is going to be necessarily only half right. So what I'm saying is, in the status quo, all these models are based on a failure to understand the metaphysical physical conversion that underlies all cognitive functions. It's a failure to understand that first and foremost. So everything built on top of it's crap. It's not my fault that everybody's wrong. This makes more sense.
ENTP INFJ doesn't make sense as a dual.
Okay, forget the dual thing, fucking casual INTP. That dual combination thing is just an incidental outcome of the thing that matters, which is understanding first and foremost each cognitive function as either converting the metaphysical into the physical or converting the physical into the metaphysical. That until we understand them first and foremost as one of those two things, all other taxonomies follow from there.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you can't meaningfully understand a cognitive function unless you understand which direction it's going. Is it going from meaning to physicality, or is it going from physicality to meaning? Is it going from abstract to experience, or from experience to abstract? That is the fundamental determinant as whether you are a metaphysical or physical person. As INTPs and ENTPs, we go from physical world data, shit you hear me say, immediately into the abstract, where we're analyzing shit according to other abstractions, yada, 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 yada. For you guys, INTPs, you're a 3P. So you're a P3 epistemology, which means the only physical part of you is the epistemology. But unlike me within the fourth slot where I can just basically go, yeah, you have to incorporate it a lot more substantially into your metaphysics because it's in the third slot where it's your hidden agenda, which means you have a hidden agenda of making physical the fundamentally metaphysical thing called your own identity. You have a desire to render it concrete in ways that are consistent because it's always been going through TI. And so that's why INTPs are deliberate in their making of identity tags and reference and parts of their identity build. That's why they've got the whole privacy public thing going on too.
I'm not buying it.
Some word.
Yeah, you say things like that, but that if you say that without giving me a reason besides referencing why it conflicts with your existing model, which I'm saying is wrong, then you're not actually addressing anything I'm saying. There's no reason for me to be concerned at all with whether you're buying anything or not because you're not actually shopping.
Unless, unless the INFJ means something else that everybody knows INFJ, then it's wrong.
But why, casual?
Yeah, if I'm going to explain it, I'm going to give you a socionics explanation, and you're not going to take it.
But what I'm telling you is I'm giving you a reason why this model is better than socionics. Either explain to me why, in fact, my explanation of the core distinction as being metaphysical and physical conversion is incorrect or inconsistent with reality, or somehow less elegant than your existing system. Explain why your existing system is preferable because it doesn't do that. That not doing that is preferable. There's a lot of different angles of attack. One of them is not, however, to say, yeah, well, I'm not buying it. That's not anything. That's just saying, in the absence of any answer, I will persist in my own non-answered, non-standing argument, which makes no sense at all.
I don't understand your model like really really well, so I cannot say.
That's fair.
So I can only go by intertype relation. And since you claim ENTP
Totally
is the
fair.
dual, you claim that the ENTP is the dual of the INFJ, so that's the only thing that I can like defute or something. But if I'm trying to do that, if I try to do that, the only way to do it is socionics.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, I mean, see, the problem is when you look at socionics functions, they don't understand that, for example, they'd say NE and NI are in the same category of thing. They're both intuitions, but they're not in the same category of thing. You can't compare the two, really. I mean, it's true that NI is the epistemology that NE ignoringly bases it off of, while it consciously bases it off of its one physical component of your ENTP, which is your SI epistemology. But the thing to note is that if you're going to listen to socionics, you're going to hear stuff about how SE is this or that or the other thing. And what you're not going to hear is the thing that matters, which is it's about taking that which is decided, namely metaphysical meaning about planning and shit, and executing it into making it physical, into this actual physical actions that cause something to be converted. That's what it is. Now, it plays out in a couple different ways, and it plays out in a physical way too. Like if you're playing soccer, it plays out as a awareness of the relationship between two bodies, not yourself, in space. But fundamentally, it's always the same thing. It is the execution of decidedness as a metaphysical quality in time objects. And the challenge for an SE user is remembering to check that decidedness with NI, not just with the fact that it's been decided. In other words, sort of shortcutting your way into SI and be like, well, somebody reminded me of this, so here it is. And you got to check see if it's actually right. That's a challenge for SE users.
So SESI FINTE, take metaphysical and turn it into physical thing, right?
Those four there. SESIFITE, take the metaphysical and turn it into the physical. Except note that SE is a action, and SI is an epistemology, but yeah, they basically work on the same engine. It just plays out a little different because they're not quite the same thing.
Well, since SE is the only one that's action, it's the only one that can turn anything into physical. Why is FI in there?
No, because look, for example, FI is the experiencing of emotion, the making manifest as a physical reality in the moment, not time extended, not something that we know about but hasn't actually happened. When we know about that has happened, it's the nowness of worth. So that what that means is when you have a piece of knowledge come into your being, such as a loved one died, even if you have no direct experiential knowledge of that death.